All right, before we hit the music, this is episode 33 of Flagrant Foul with Rich and Nate. We've got a little bit of everything. NFL rule changes, some very interesting comments from Jarvis Landry, and yeah, we're going to try to figure out what that noise was because apparently a meteor is now part of the sports cycle. We're breaking down the NCAA wrestling tournament, freshman hammers, Iron Men, and absolute best and worst singlets. Don't worry, if they need help, Nate and I are available for consultation. On the ice, Avs are pushing for the playoffs, dealing with injuries, and we got games against the Blackhawks and Caps to talk through. Down in the ECHL, the Ghost Pirates are hanging on, but they've got the Gladiators, Everblades, and Solar Bears coming for them. We'll wrap it up with a movie review of War Machine, and don't forget Banger of the Week. Let's go.
Yeah. Hey, Cleveland roots with a reckless style. Take so bold, they're flagrant foul. House on the ice, know that they pride. Wrestle and talk about culture, ride from Rich to Nate. It's full court wow, say back press play, it's flagrant foul. Yeah, it's flagrant foul.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 33 of Flagrant Foul. Got a action-packed episode. It's been quite the week here in Cleveland. I don't know about you over there in Denver, but we've had warm weather. We've had snow. We've had a meteor. We've got NCAA wrestling in town. So a little bit of everything over here.
It's been a hell of a week. Well, we're coming off of, it was Friday the 13th, right? Like a little over a week ago, things were quiet, and then all of a sudden they weren't quiet. You just hear getting a text from my boy Nate, loud bang, sound like somebody blew up a car. Claire's like 20 miles away. Same thing, hearing that there's an explosion. Lo and behold, the last thing you think it, so of course your head immediately goes to like the worst possible scenario. Nate's all like, I need to go bug out and get strapped up or something. Like, what's happening here? It's a meteor. That's crazy.
Yep, pretty insane. I don't even remember what day it was. Was it St. Patrick's Day? Oh, I forgot.
think it was. Yeah, I don't even know. This week's such a whirlwind.
St. Patrick's Day was this past week. How?
I think it was,
I believe it was Tuesday morning. I'm at work. We're just doing our typical morning huddle, trying to get right for the day. All of a sudden, it was loud and it shook the whole building, but our building has had like some ceiling leaks from like rain and whatnot. So we've had people on the roof lately. It kind of sounded like somebody was up there, like, but it didn't sound like a roofer was up there. It sounded like Santa landed his sleigh on top of the bank. Anyhow, but yeah, it was loud. It was crazy. It was like, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, we're all dead. It was more like what was that? Anyways,
well, you think how far away, as far away as it was, the fact that it was still like that loud, like, I don't know, I'm going to mess these figures up, but it was like something like a 7-ton meteor. Thank goodness it burned up on entry, going through the atmosphere. Otherwise, we'd be going the way of the dinosaurs and going at something like 40,000 miles per hour, something stupid, right? So you just see it streak across the sky. But yeah, it was that was kind of crazy. Also, a little bit like winning the lottery too, because I know if you find a chunk of one of those, Johns, they're worth some bucks. So it sounded like
I would recognize that. Like, I think I would just think it was another rock. So.
I'm thinking like, I'm just having visions of Joe Dirt with the chunk of space poop that he's got in his wagon. Like, be like, we sure it wasn't that. But yeah, what crazy thing to happen. And it sounded like there was one in Germany too. So yeah, scary stuff, man. But moving on. So that's how the week sort of started off. We'll get in. It was a relatively slow week on the NFL front. Nothing, more noise, more talks, more, working on free agencies. I didn't necessarily add this on the show, but I know, look, this is how we roll. This is Northeast Ohio mentality, right? So Joe Hayden, Cleveland Brown draft pick, goes to Pittsburgh. We're like, F that dude. We did welcome him back because I will give him grace that he wanted to retire a Brown, which was odd because I feel like he played like as much of his career with the Steelers as he did with the Browns, but whatever. So we welcomed him back with open arms. This may have to go that way a little bit with Njoku. Big Chief fans, we love him, gonna miss him, but he sides with Baltimore. I'm gonna be so angry. Like, dude, don't preach about how you're Cleveland for life. Like, we get it. They weren't re-signing you. Don't sign with Baltimore.
For a guy that has been so open about loving Cleveland, it'd be a big old kick to the sack if he just left and went to Baltimore. If I had
Like,
a nickel
yes.
for every time some football players left Cleveland and went to Baltimore, I'd have too many nickels.
Well, the entire franchise, players, like, yeah, it's a frustrating situation, but I'm not gonna be happy about that if he signs. But Chubb, on the other hand, I have heard he's sort of floating around out there. I want to roll with the 3 rookie backs unless we go crazy and just get Jeremiah Love because he's a dog, and why
That's not
not?
gonna
That'd be a Browns
happen.
move. I know it's a Browns move. Anyway, I'm good with rolling with our 3 young guys. I think we got, but you kind of want that like elder statesman 4th guy potentially spot back. I'd be okay bringing Chubb back in if it was cheap, so he could retire a Brown. B, he can teach guys how to like handle their business and be a professional, even though his better years are probably behind him. So I'm on board with, not a lot of money, but I can't imagine there's too much of a market for him out there. And I think, personally, if he's going to have any sort of success and people that are going to be on his side, it's going to be here. He goes anywhere else with diminishing skills, it's going to be like, this guy's a bum. He's no good anymore. You're not going to get that in Cleveland. People are going to appreciate what you had in him, appreciate who he is as a player. So bring Nick back. We want Batman back in Gotham. So make it happen. So other interesting things this week. So I don't know if you saw a couple rule changes were proposed and accepted, and one of those the Browns were on, and that is to push out what is it, restructuring contracts out to like 5 years. So
I
this
thought
sounds,
that it was being able to trade draft picks 5 years out instead of 3 years out.
you're right. You're right. You're right.
Was that approved
Completely
though?
missed my.
I thought it was
No,
just a
but they're going to
proposal.
consider it is the long and short of
Yes,
it.
yes.
And yeah, so you're right. I was completely off the mark on that. But same thing in that it's AB continuing to want to like leverage the future for now, but his decisions now are dog shit. So whatever. I don't know how I feel about that, but whatever. If it comes from our Browns GM, it cannot be that great of an idea because
Yeah.
dude's a bum. So, first coffee spill of the day, by the way. 3rd cup of
Nice,
coffee.
nice.
Got a walk under my belt, so I'm feeling it. I got the caffeine flowing. Spilled already.
3rd cup of coffee.
Yeah, I've done 3. So, little segue before I continue on with our Browns talk. So Beans went to go visit Nate's sister who bought a house a few weeks ago. So I'm flying solo this weekend. I'm literally by myself for somewhere around like 17 and a half minutes, and I'm already like, hello, is there anybody out there? I'm bored and I'm lonely, so I'm just trying to fend for myself. Right now at this point, I've been by myself for something like 32, 33 hours, and I feel like I'm trapped in a Chilean mine by myself. No contact with the real world, so ready for Beans to come home. But anyway, I tell you this because I had to take her to the airport, which right now, with the whole partial government shutdown, the TSA deal is so bad. I took her to the airport at like 3 yesterday morning on a Saturday, and there were so many people there already. They're running 4 TSA lines, so whatever. But I get home, Sam and Landy, the dogs, were like, we want to eat, and then you can sleep for like another hour or so, and then we're getting up and starting our day. So that happened, and then they promptly just were like dying, sleeping on the couch all day, to the point that like, Sammy's always going for a walk. Lou was like, I'm not walking. The rest of my day is sleeping on this couch right here. And then this morning, same thing. I was like, I thought I'd crash early last night, but then like I didn't. I was like, I'll stay up, watch a movie, and then I'll get a good long night's sleep. No, they were like, we're getting up. And then Landy's fat self had the nerve to just sit next to me and just full on be snoring on the couch. It was a complete slap in the face. So
Classic.
needless to say, I'm sleep deprived. I'm lonely and abandoned out here, and yeah, that's about it. Weather is nice though; it's pretty outside. So anyway, I'll get back on topic. So other thing, Browns wise, Did you catch any of the Jarvis Landry comments on his podcast regarding Kevin Stefanski this week?
The only thing I saw was we thought that the first time Stefanski relinquished play calling was to Ken Dorsey last year, I believe. And
Yep.
he claims that that 100% happened. Was it with Freddie Kitchens?
Yeah, that would have been that era, yes.
Mm. So I don't really understand the significance in that.
I would say this. So I don't think Stefanski's being heavily scrutinized in Atlanta right now. Like his moves, people are kind of questioning, scratching heads, dogging him out, the QB plan, like several things going on. So, he's a guy that, as far as Falcons fans know, it's like he was unsuccessful in Cleveland. So, like, we just brought this bum in. It wasn't like even in Cleveland, the people that were still rooting for him were like, oh, we had some good years with him. No. So this dude's getting no, like, free passes. But I think Landry was a little bit more diplomatic about sort of the Shador situation and just Stefanski as a coach, but I can't remember who the other guy is that he has on that show with him. He was dogging him out pretty hard, and really sort of the sentiment behind Stefanski was, you got players, and Jarvis is one that had probably some skills that could have served the team and literally just could not even get a sniff on a roster. And then you got Stefanski coming off of the worst organization, so many questionable moves. He's touted as an offensive genius, but, with play calling or, handing play calling off to a coordinator, he just sort of like he's got nothing to prove. And then he goes to Atlanta, just gets like a do-over and a free pass. So I thought that was interesting. It sort of validated a little bit of some of the criticism of Kevin over the last several years, but I don't know.
I misspoke. It was not Freddie Kitchens. I was thinking about that. I'm like, Freddie Kitchens was before Stefanski. Alex Van Pelt was the offensive coordinator, which I don't understand because I feel like Stefanski's as long as I can remember him being in Cleveland, he was heavily criticized for his play calling,
Mm-hmm.
especially. So if you were giving up play calling duties to somebody else, why are you still taking the blame? Like, obviously, I think he knows that people were upset with what was going on. And we know he was the guy that would give us nothing in any interview. Um, what's the word? I was gonna say, hey, like CEO of beating around the bush, but I don't know. He he never gave us anything in those interviews, so I don't understand why he would willingly like ruin his own reputation and take the fall for that if he wasn't calling plays. Like, what does it
Yeah.
matter? What's the significance in that?
Who knows? I don't think he's a bad guy with ill intent. I do think that he's stubborn and it's going to be his way and that's the way it is. And I guess that's fine. I'm the head coach. It's going to be my way because I'm the one that falls. It's just that then when things don't go right, you're the accountable one and there's got to be consequences. And I would say, our expectations in Cleveland are so low that it's almost to the point now that like his lack of being able to speak and like show any emotion or act like he cared was so irritating that it's like even if things don't go right, if Maka just kind of comes in and acts like it's hurting him as much as it hurts us, we would probably be like, that's so much better. I just want you to care. You just like it's already bad and you don't seem like you care, so can it be bad? It seems like it's really eating you up, please.
Yeah. See, the thing, like you just said, the consensus feels that Kim Stefanski, I can't remember what you just said now that you say that. What did you say about him?
Just that his just lack of acting like he cares.
Oh,
It's
stubborn.
just like
I
so
remember. I remember.
frustrating.
You said that
Yeah.
he was stubborn, and that's how it felt because we're like, it took how many years of him being here to finally let somebody else call the plays? It felt like he was stubborn. He's a robot. He gives us nothing, has no emotion, nothing. If he's truly giving up plays, like why allow people to still think this about you? Like I don't understand the reasoning and like not telling people if you're gonna change the play calling duties. It doesn't make any sense to me.
No, it's stupid. Well, then I had to do a quick technical adjustment. Oh my. I just figured something out and it's awesome.
What's that?
I had the noise canceling on my headphones and it felt like I couldn't hear my voice, so it was just making me yell.
Yeah.
So I know I'm
The
like, why am
noise
I
cancel Do you ever
I'm
have
always
the
like,
noise
why am I
canceling
so
on?
loud? Because I'm
You ever had
usually
noise
like,
canceling on with no sound coming through? It feels like your head is being like ripped off. Your brain is coming out of your ears. It hurts.
I mean, I know
Um,
what I'm saying, but I'm like noise canceling out. I'm just like, I'm a Neanderthal and have to hear the words coming out of my mouth. So I'm trying to overpower this freaking noise canceling. Well, we're back on track. We're back on track. We're gonna move over
yeah,
to some
maybe
hockey.
maybe the
What's that?
podcast quality is gonna be better and be better for viewer listening.
You don't have like
They'll
Nate.
have to like stay strapped onto that volume button. Like, oh, Rich is talking.
Yeah.
Let me rip this down a
Yeah.
couple notches.
I can't listen to this. Nate's so calm, cool, and collected, and Rich is just screaming all the time into the microphone. Like, I can't hear myself. What's going on? All right. I feel like it only took us 33 episodes for me to figure out one component of this technology. It took me like 6 episodes to figure out the PC stuff. Another 10 on the camera. So we're slowly getting there. I would say like 3-4 years in, we may be dialed.
Yeah,
We'll
three,
just
four
have to
years in,
see.
we'll have a well-oiled machine over here.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm like the Tin Man with like just his right leg and right arm oiled right now.
Okay.
Anyway, so moving to hockey, I'm gonna go to our ECHL squad first, and then we'll go back up. So it's winding down. Teams are starting to clinch. I mentioned that last week. The Ghost Pirates have not yet. They had a couple rough weeks. They're still clinging on to that A spot. Win the other day. I think it was over the name of it. I have it in my head. The
I have the
whatever rabbits.
ECHL. Oh, Swamp Rabbits.
Swamp rabbits.
I have
Yes.
the ECHL notifications turned on, so I try to like follow them as much as possible. But I got to tell you, I'm getting way too many notifications that I've began to ignore it. Like it's crazy.
Yes.
I don't understand. Maybe ESPN does that for like the Avalanche, and I just don't have that turned on. But it's like every penalty, like oh,
Is it just them
number
though?
26 on the Ghost Pirates said to tie his right skate again. Like it's everything, play by play. Like leave me alone, please.
Yes. You're 100% right. Do you have it turned on just for them?
Yes.
So I think I did on my old phone, but I got a new phone last week. And so now the notifications are on, but it's for the whole league. So imagine what you're getting
It just
times
that times
30
100.
teams. And I'm just literally like, that's like,
I'm
there's so many
going through it. I'm
notifications.
adjusting it. I had on the ECHL news articles, social media articles, fan engagement, and special announcements. That's just for the whole league. Then for the Ghost Pirates, game day updates, score changes with detail, penalty notifications, period summaries, game completion with results. That is entirely too much. Way too much.
Yeah,
I
that's a
care
well,
less about the penalty.
Have you had it too? Like you'll be like notification. I'm not looking at it. So then you're like, oh, let me see what the score of the game is. It's got to be like 3-1 or something. You'll be like, there's no score in this game. Where were they letting me know?
It's like I got 7 notifications and we're 4 minutes in, nothing's happened.
I know. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah. So anyway, game's coming up. They got a busy rest of this month. So I think it's essentially 1 week left of this month. We got Gladiators 3 in a row against the Everblades. Like again, I think there's some like regional travel to keep costs down. So they're playing like 3 in a row against them, and then they finish off with Solar Bears to wrap up the month. So those are some pretty big games. Hopefully, we finish on a high note. I still think so. If I'm correct, I think conference it's top 8, but it's 4 per division. Thank goodness, because I think we're like about to not be in the top 8. So if my calculations are correct, we're in a good spot. Moving over to the NHL, a little bit more of the same. I was on a rant last week about, Blackwood and just sort of what was going on. I'll retract some of that. It sounds like the next day after we recorded the pod, Bedsy was saying that there was so like flu illness was going rampant through the team. Like pretty much everybody is sick, like even going through the Eagles. So like there was something going on. We do have 4 big pieces of the puzzle that are out. I will say, I believe all 4 of them, LOC, Likey, Landy, and Ross all went on this road trip they're on right now. Landy's playing today. I don't know if anybody. They said potentially two could be back today. The only one for sure I saw was Landy. So I think LOC is really close. I'm pretty anxious to see how he looks because if he comes back and is any semblance what he's last year, like I'll say one thing on the PK. The PK's been all right this year, but like I think they're missing like some of the shorties that they had in the past. LOC is the king of the shorty. That's not a knock on him as a man. That's his affinity for scoring goals while on
Yo.
the penalty kill. So don't get it twisted. But he's the I think a missing piece on the back end there. Great two-way player, some scoring upside, the six guys. So we got that. They schooled the Blackhawks yesterday, and McKenzie had a pretty good game. Granted, it was the Blackhawks, so we'll see how they go. They got the Caps today. Really need to get a dub. Good thing Dallas is on our ass, but that sucked too because we lost a overtime shootout to them on Wednesday. But with Dallas, I guess the good thing is they lost to Minnesota yesterday, and then they have a back-to-back. This was all on the road. They're going to Vegas, another tough team. So if they can go 0-2, that would be pretty sweet. You've been catching much hockey. This is time to get it dialed up. You got to get your shit together for the what do you call it, Kraken game and postseason.
I did watch the Stars game last week. Made me pretty angry. Lost in the shootout, I believe. It just makes me so mad. It's like we have 75 shots and like one goal, and then the other team has like 16 shots and 26 goals.
Yeah.
Ottinger just they're dialed. And I don't know about the Avs and if it's the goalie situation or everybody else on defense is kind of hanging them out to dry. A little bit of both, it seems. But I think they'll be okay. The Stars fans are talking a lot of crap, saying, "Oh, you guys can't even beat us with that." Right, and then I don't even know who else isn't playing on that scrub team right now.
Hines.
Yeah. He's the one that got hurt when they played just recently, right?
Yeah, like nothing happened. Like an Avs player looked at him and he tore his groin, fell to the ice like a punk bitch, but it's whatever.
Yeah.
I don't like the Stars. We did the same thing to you a week before. Mind you, our captain's out, Likenen's out. So you got like two top six guys, potentially three if you count Ross. He's been up there, and then like the mayor of Colorado, which hockey runs through Colorado. So we could just call him the mayor of professional hockey, Logan O'Connor, out. So whatever, dude. We'll be fine. But I think you hit the nail on the head. You and I's gripes the same. The amount of shots, it's like, are we not getting quality shots and then not putting the puck in the net? But like, I mentioned this last week. I can't remember if I talked on the pod or it was just you and I sidebarring. If there is a rebound against any of our goalies because of the defensive style we play, you're putting it in the net. And that never happens for us.
It feels like the Avs try so hard to get the goals that they get. They have to put a million pucks on net. They have to have this perfect play drawn up to score. And then the other team like does nothing and the puck's in the back of the net. It's frustrating.
Yeah, they start
But
to
they
press, and I think Netchus, I want you to talk about this a little bit because I think I agree with you on this. He's a crazy skill guy, but dude is way overthinking, overpassing, overcomplicating his score,
I think he
his
just does.
offensive possessions.
I think he's just like, I don't know if it's overcomplicating it. Almost to me, I feel like he's just like going out there being an idiot. I understand he's a good player. Love that he's on our team. He would kill me
He's
in hockey,
pressing.
but he just like goes out there and is like doing whatever. Like bro's trying to like go up Odell the puck, just gets Ray Lewis'd. Like brother, we got the playoffs in about a month, and you're being an idiot. Like let's cool it. But they're playing right now versus the Capitals and down 1-0, about
Is
halfway
Wedgie
through
in
the
net?
games.
Who's in net? Let's just prove your point too. Like, how many shots do we have for no goals?
It's actually not bad. Blackwood's in net. They have Capitals 11 shots, 1 goal on Blackwood. We've got 9
That's actually
shots,
good for him.
no goals.
Yeah, well,
So
I don't know. They're on
opposite
the
of
power
what we
play
just
right
said,
now.
but whatever.
We are on power play right now, but I will say, if there's going to be a knock, I wouldn't say this has always been this way. I'm going to say this compared to other great players. He's on my team. Nathan McKinnon is one of the best hockey players in the world and in NHL history. His level to be clutch is a little suspect in my book. I think it's definitely based on his supporting cast, because if there's a knock, it's sort of those clutch goals when he needs to have them. I don't know that I've seen it before, but not in the last couple of years. I haven't.
Yeah, the Olympics basically did him in on those. Brother is not clutch, but
homie screwed the
I
booch.
don't know. It kind of seems to me like, I don't know. Sometimes you see these teams in not just hockey, but in general, that you get all these superstars together, and they should be unstoppable. But it's like something's not clicking. I don't think. Like they're killing everybody, and they're number one in the league for sure. But like you have that good of a team, and your power play is like what last in the league. That something is not right.
Well, I think some things too, though, like Likanen being out hurts. Likanen on that top line with Netjes and McKinnon is so much different. And I think Landeskog, before he got hurt, then he was playing really good. Like that top line, like he was a pretty good replacement for Likanen. I also think on the power play, like Landy's kind of a dog down in front of the net with the tips and just being able to hold his position. Like he doesn't get enough credit for what a physical presence he is. He doesn't seem like he is. That dude's a physical tough guy. So I don't know. We'll see when we get him back. Hopefully things will turn around. But I just, after the start they had, it's been a little bit frustrating what we've gotten out of them. But they'll be okay. They'll be okay. We'll keep an eye on this game as we go on. All right, let's get to the big news. This was a fun weekend. I'm going to be for real with you. I watched probably about 3 hours a session, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 3, 8. I probably watched close to 18 hours of wrestling between Thursday and Sunday. I watched every session. I had the Matt cast up. I had the ESPN Plus up. I'm watching Matt's. It was fun. Shout out some things from this tournament. It was cool to see, some Colorado kids. So I did not realize, some guys sort of in your wheelhouse of your era. In high school, you had Serrano from UNC, Greeley, and Cornell, and which I never connected those two dots, Cornella and Cornell. That's kind of, it's funny. Maybe.
It is.
Anyway. And then Vombar at Minnesota, not great tournaments for any of them. They all came, I think Vombar and Cornella came pretty close to A status, but just missed it. Vombar and I guess just Vombar of the three does have an AA. The other two do not. I didn't know Brandon Cannon. Did you realize he was a Pondo kid?
I didn't know
that was interesting.
State.
He was not the top of the top, but I'll tell you what, he is a hell of a like he's so funky and he's dangerous. He's like almost a little bit of a Jax element, and like you see some like weird shit, and then like all of a sudden he's got you in danger. So anyway, there was that. Some others to shout out. Steve-O finished his career with Ohio State. He A'd last year, did not A this year, but congrats, he had a pretty great career. But some other things to talk about the tournament. I mean, those finals were fun, man. Like, just come right out of the gate with upset. Like, and I think what I enjoyed the most about it was, so I do like Vega from Okie State. And I think it was just a little bit more of a sign of, who he's wrestling. But it was like, that match wasn't the most, I was complaining to you that like wrestlers have gotten so good, and the way scoring and calls go, like instant replay, I kind of hate. I do agree that there's some calls that get missed by refs, and there's just technology available to right those. But the replay and then replay of the second replay that goes to like another independent, like that's bullshit. Like they need to knock that. It slows the match down so much that it's gotten like, it's just like no action, hand fighting, working the edge of the mat, looking for stall calls so we can maybe go to overtime and force a stall or review. Like conditioning gets taken out of it half the time because it's like these long ass reviews that are slowing the match down. It was so boring. But then, we came right back afterwards and you start seeing some of the young guys go out there. Okie State. Okie State right now reminds me of like Penn State during like the high flying, like Nolf, what's his name? Bo Nickel. The guys that were like, we're going to score a shitload of points. We're going to beat the crap out of you. We can scramble. We're going to score. We're going to put people on their back. Like, I want to see scoring, exciting wrestling. And like those guys were bringing it. But a lot of that tournament was boring. And it's not a knock against these wrestlers are the best. These are the best wrestlers, I think, in the world, but also like some of the best wrestlers of all time. Like the quality of the wrestling in this country is such at a peak right now, but the way that it's scored and governed, it's just kind of boring, made it a little bit boring. And I really would love to sort of, I don't know if there's a way that we can change that to incent more of a freestyle, we want to score points approach. But that, I mean, I think I've jumped the shark. I think I like literally, that's twice I've used that term on this show, by the way. I've turned the page. I think I'm a freestyle guy now. I'm just kind of like,
Yeah.
it's so much more fun to watch.
All the matches are like strategically getting to overtime 1-1 drives me crazy. Like the whole first period hand fighting, somebody goes down, gets out, hand fight the rest of the time. Next person goes down, third period, get out, it's 1-1. And then in the overtime, we will want to go. And then people get upset. They're like, oh, that wasn't a takedown. He got screwed, whatever. Oh, this has to go to instant replay on this, whatever, in overtime. Like, if you wrestled the rest of the match, like, it wouldn't be up to the referee to make that decision. But y'all ain't doing anything.
Yeah. Yeah, so whatever. I mean, but otherwise, I think it was great. I was great. You know, see some of the guys that I think Marcus Blaze, I think is a boring style of wrestling. He needed to score points. He did not. Rocco Welsh, boring style of wrestling. Bit him in the end, like super boring. So anyway, we'll see. Like I said, I thought the finals were good, and it's good to see some new champions. Something a special's a brewing at Okie State. And you could just tell that dude falls off the Cale Sanderson's coaching tree because they're coming. Dave is such a relaxed, even keel guy. I may throw a hypothetical at you. Would you rather have had right now, if it ended tomorrow, would you rather have Kyle Dake's career or Dave Taylor's career?
Probably Dave Taylor.
It's DT, and it's not even close. 4-time finalist, 2-time champ, 2-time Hodge winner. He's got an Olympic gold. Dake doesn't. He's a world champ. He retired and then unretires after he's coached just to go, I'm just going to snag a bronze for nothing. And then he's down there just building an absolute powerhouse.
Meanwhile,
I don't.
Dake's over there wrestling in Wrath, doing whatever.
Yeah. And I don't know who, like, there may be some other, I'm not going to say he's the only one. Like, I think, so NIL money, it's definitely permeated its way to wrestling. Cause I was thinking about this earlier too, there were some standout performances, like, we'll get to some of the Iron Man guys who wrestled the long way back through for AA status, but you saw like Air Force and I think kid from Columbia, like some smaller schools, but like some like historical, strong, small wrestling schools that are just gone now, like Edinburgh. Like Edinburgh may as well drop the like they're not. You never hear about them. They used to be a good team. Edinburgh's just gone. It was the other one that I was thinking about that was just gone. But like, there's just like some other perennial tough schools. Just you don't hear about them. The ACC. It's like NC State's starting to fall back a little bit, but they're still an okay team. Vatek didn't live up to the performance, but outside of that, like UNC, they're gone. Virginia, gone. SoCon, like you're not going to ever see the App States. Like they had a national championship. So like they're just gone. Like it's really fallen to like, basically you got the Missouri and you got Okie State outside of the Big Ten, Arizona. I guess are they Pac-12 for wrestling or they will be Big Ten?
Arizona State?
Or maybe they're Big 12. I don't know. But there are some other schools that are still decent. But like you look at the top of the top. Like it's your usual suspects. And like the rich are getting richer. And then these programs are, the NIL money. Like Stanford had a hell of a final. And hey, I think Hayden Hidley, like here's an exciting young guy that maybe there will be. But I feel like we're about to flop the Penn State situation for a 10-year run of the Okie State situation. It would be nice to see your Like, why is Minnesota not a top program? Why is Wisconsin not a top program? Why is Michigan mediocre? Like, you don't hear about Rutgers ever. Like Harvard wrestling, like these programs are just you just don't see these guys anymore coming around. Like, what's it? Tennessee, Chattanooga had All Americans. So I think it's going to get worse before it gets better, and I don't know that that's wonderful for wrestling. Um, I would say a team at a lesser conference that I thought is been tough. I've heard their name a fair amount. I'm gonna flat out say I've had zero research of them, but I feel like NIU. I feel like was a little bit of an overachieving program.
I haven't heard a
That's
single thing about them.
Northern Illinois University. And they have a kid in the semis,
Actually, yeah, I think Jack's wrestle. Other than that,
but I mean, does it feel like that to you a little bit? Like it's just sort of like
it's kind of how it all is now. I feel like college athletics are cooked as long as NIL is still alive and well.
yeah, it makes you feel sorry for some of these other programs too. I mean, you see like, Wyoming and UNC. Wyoming had a couple good kids, but University of Northern Colorado, they lost their coach. Guys transferred for money. It's like you have a standout season and you're leaving. You're going to take money in a bigger program.
All these places are just farm systems for the big schools. They go there, they get good for a year or two, and then they go and make their money at the big school.
Yeah. I'm not going to say I love it, so whatever, but I did want to shout out a couple guys for the Ironman performances, and that's first round loss and then literally going 7 through the backside to get All-American status. So the kid from Air Force, don't know his name, and there was one more, there were two. Oh, and then I'm going to eat crow on this one. This is just mostly haterade because I'm not a fan of the Iowa program. I think their styles pass them by. It's not a knock on how good a coaches and how much they know wrestling the Brands brothers are. I just think that style and from a recruiting standpoint's hard. I will say I saw more emotion out of both Brands brothers with their wrestlers behind the scenes than they've ever allowed access to. And it does appear that their guys love them. So they're definitely, I don't think the knock's ever been. They're not there for him or in the trenches for him. But Gabe Arnold's a guy I wanted to shout out. Like, and in hindsight, like, I don't know that the guy's ever, like, talk about a team guy. I'll wrestle wherever you put me. And I think I talked. So they were like, does Gabe have a chance? I was like, no way. At 97, dude, that's kind of incredible that he was able to go through that backside like he did. After losing first round, I was like, he's done. Dude, all AAs. That's pretty amazing. I think next year, he does have another year of eligibility. It'll be interesting to see potentially what happens in that lineup. It'd be nice to see him be able to be at a 74 or 84. Maybe even like 84 would be a good weight for him, but I don't know who he's got. He's got 74 is Angelo, or is Angelo 84?
I don't know. It's off the top of my head.
What are standout things of the tournament did you see?
My boy Jax is a dog. I said that from the beginning, and you were like, he could have some tough matches.
He did have a tough match. It didn't mean I didn't want him to.
One tough match. Whatever. Davino's above.
Davino is a hell of a wrestler. That was a good match. I will say Jax is just different. His walkout music was the best of the night. So right there.
That was awesome. That's a song. He does that for all of them.
I got to get your thoughts on this too. We'll get into this in a little bit, some more of the swag topic. Because I will say this. You will not find a greater authority on wrestler swag and potential, singlets, shoe game, and all that than your crew right here, Rich and Nate. So we'll get into that. But Jax with the Okie State polo as his warm-up, kind of a flex, and I like
That's
it.
A new thing.
It's a good look, man. That's a good look. I like it.
These days are rocking the polos.
I like it. I feel like he brought a little old school with him too. Like, I don't feel like you see him the guys with the bleach in the hair. He went back to the old, we're going to bleach the hair for state type of thing. Like he brings a little bit of an element, a little bit of a flair to him that I like. He's just like, he's so fun to watch. Such a good attitude. The very tiny little bit that I know his dad from coaching at VAC together, like, was so cool to see him on TV just crying and being excited. Like, They put a lot of time and effort into it. That was pretty cool to see. Very, very, very cool to see. What else did I have here? So we got to talk about this too. So I said we're going to talk swag. On top of the fact that I feel like Minnesota and like your Wisconsins should be more relevant. Like I was like looking through rosters, like Pennsylvania's, Penn State's a good one. Go look at Penn State's roster compared to like Ohio State's roster or Michigan's roster. And what, or like if you even like try to make it more regional and go out west and see, like you like Stanford's a good one. You go to look at like a Stanford's roster. There's California kids. There's kids from like Oregon. Like there's from sort of that regional location. And yeah, they have a guy or two from like PA, something like that, right? You look at Ohio State's roster, a lot of Ohio guys. Not all of them. There's a lot of Ohio guys. You look at Penn State's roster, they're from everywhere else. So what that says to me, and I guess Okie State's going that way too, these guys are recruiting and getting the best of the best to leave home from programs they probably have had access to and what to go to these other programs where it's like, I look at Wisconsin and Minnesota and Michigan, it's like, they got to keep their guys home. Like there's good wrestlers out of those states that are sitting on that your Iowas, your Nebraskas, your Ohio's, your Penn States are reaping the benefits of. And it shouldn't be that way because those are good programs. But it starts with this. You got to have good coaches. You got to have a good vibe. Today's wrestler, these kids worked hard, but you have to also know how to like when to push them, when to not, when to be there. You know, I think Ohio, Iowa, if they did anything, as much as I busted on them this year, it seems like Brands did a good job of keeping guys' head in it and I think they overachieved this year at Nationals. But the other component of it is if your gear is poop and you're bringing these guys in and it's between a couple other programs and your swag factor is at like a -2, that doesn't help. And I would say like Okie State stuff is sick. The Cowboys sick. The hand gestures are sick.
The best. I love it.
It's awesome. Like all of their stuff is so cool. Minnesota, your color scheme, Nate and I have gone on about this before. The maroon with the athletic gold is such an awesome color scheme. And I almost think I like theirs slightly more than like your ASU, USC. It's like the maroon and the athletic gold are a little bit like darker. I just really like it, right? And then you go roll in out with those like, 1983 high school faded ass gold singlets. Those are terrible.
They do. Minnesota does have good singlets. They have those maroon ones, and then the back has like the big M like across the shoulder blades, basically. That singlet is sick. So
you need to roll the golden gopher out.
I don't know why he chose to go that bum singlet for the finals. But
here's my ideas. I want to get your thoughts on punching those singlets up. First of all the headgears, you got to go with the golden gopher on the headgear because that's a badass logo.
I also feel like everybody needs to have the same headgear at the same school. Like the people with like their own random headgears bothers me.
Can I digress before we come back to this? This is just a reality check and a maybe pick your battles, take a breath statement for every coach from college. I'm mostly speaking to you, high school, JV coaches, all the way down to youth that are like, fix your headgear, adjust your headgear, like doing all that, getting mad because kids are messing with their headgear. The national champ at 133 messes with his headgear the entire weekend.
That entire match was this. I was like, oh my God, stop touching it. It was driving me crazy.
Oh, yeah. So it doesn't get better. Maybe it's his thing, but the headgear, it's like you want to be like, got to get your headgear right. No, his headgear was just jacked the whole time. So maybe that makes you feel a little bit better. So when you got the kid that's out there going like this out of the bottom position, he's reaching back for the freaking head and arm and his headgear's falling off. Maybe you get mad about the head and arm. Let's just let the headgear go because that's not going to stop him from becoming a national champion. So anyway, back. My thoughts are, like I said, Minnesota, the maroon. I think you could go a black with some like maroon gold highlights around the ribbing would be pretty sweet. Those ones are sick. Another one, like Rutgers and Wisconsin need to get together and figure it out because the solid, you're rocking the red, black, and white color scheme with like just the solid and you would rocking the R or what is it, the Wisconsin. It's like, it's not working for me. You need to do something better. And I think I've seen them before I feel like white with red pinstriping and red banding around it with the Wisconsin logo would be pretty badass if that hasn't been done before. But that's a good look. Also, the Badger, cool logo. I feel like Michigan utilizes the Wolverine logo too. Is this kind of a cool look?
I don't
But I don't know.
even know off the top of my head what that looks like. I like Wisconsin singlets. I'm looking at them. I don't mind those at all. I hate Penn State. Love the singlet.
Yes.
The belt, fire. Love the singlet.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. UNC with like the like plaid or whatever that they do. Those are sick.
Cool.
The Tar Heels
Down the side.
Tar Heels. Yeah. I'm a big fan of that.
So also, can we I'm not saying that times aren't changing. Like when I was growing up, you rocked the champion or whatever. You were the broke boy. Champion's now cool, or it was. Like things come around. Things have their cycle of being cool. What I'm getting at is, and no one's really figured that out wrestling wise. So like to me, you're stuck. If I think you got to go to Nike, like just go Nike. The stuff's got to be Nike. I will allow Cliff Keen singlets and headgear. But outside of that, you just like do your club a favor. If you're like, I don't know where to start, Rich. I need help, Nate. Like my gear's terrible. I don't have an aesthetic gene in my body. I don't know where to start. Boom, right off the bat. It's like they tell you, like if you need to lose weight, first thing right off the bat, just start doing a protein shake every day. Same thing with singlets. Dude, I'm going off on one right now. How did I get to there? Anyway, just start right there. Be like, you got an Under Armour singlet or just or whatever. You're using Takedown or some other because you're broke. Throw that away. You're going Nike. Instantly, you've come up to the pack. Now we get a differentiation from everybody else. Okay. So I'm trying to think of like powerhouses that have sort of like slipped back to the pack that need maybe a punch up, but now I'm going to go one farther, and I want to go to some of these lesser programs that I think could potentially make some inroads, like Indigo, which would also be a cool thing. I'm going to put a challenge out there. You know, like you guys have I've done the 4-time national champ. I just left high school and became a national champ. They've done the 4 different weight, like you're just running out of records to break. How about a bunch of guys that are like in junior high right now that are like the top dogs in the country, just figure out like we're going to pick some like Davidson and we're all going there and all of a sudden just turn them into like a national powerhouse. I want to see that happen.
That'd be sick. Going back to the singlets, Virginia Tech, their colors are sweet. I like the orange and the maroon. A lot of potential there. Cool. Yes. The camo singlet is straight trash. Hate it. Don't understand it. Yeah. You guys have good colors. Stop doing it. The worst singlets probably ever. I hate them so much. They make me mad just looking at them. I hate the Ohio State singlets so much. It's awful. Boring. It's stupid. Why do you have a stripe on the right leg? Like, it's terrible. I hate everything about it.
I feel like they've had some alternate ones that were cool in the past, but then they want to rock just the straight up helmet look ones with the silver. It's basic. That singlet is basically a worse version of like the Minnesota colored one that we had to suffer through this past weekend. Okay. It's not aesthetically pleasing to me, and it lessens my wrestling watching experience. I want to be like, holy shit, did you see, look at the power of those snap downs. Look at this dude's freaking singlet. Look at this guy in the scramble. This guy's a hammer on top. But I can't because the entire time I'm going like, I'm trying to eat a snack and watch wrestling. I'm going to throw up because this singlet looks like shit.
The silver is awful. Like Ohio State has potential to do so many good things. Do red singlets, like not saying they do have red singlets, but like red and black and maybe white, maybe. That's all I should do. The silver's terrible. I hate it.
And I wouldn't say like either too. I mean, like you can get into some color schemes. Like I think the teams with the most potential, like you're saying, Virginia Tech or even Virginia with the orange and the blue, like you picked colors that have potential to be cool because you didn't just do I'm going red and black or red and white or because it's like Oklahoma, like that maroon and white is so boring. The Sooner logo is boring. Indiana, I feel like that's another one. Again, if you changed the base color of your singlet to the red that they're using on the helmets and then use like the Hoosier logo, like you could make them better. Those singlets they were rocking last weekend were butt cheeks, dude. I'm going to also, too, underrated Big Ten. I'm going to say, like, let me rate Big Ten by singlet. This is going to be controversial to you, maybe. Illinois are kind of dope. I sort of love their color scheme. They're so basic, but the eye is cool. I kind of like Illinois. I would put them up there. I think Michigan's are a good look. I'm not like you. I understand the Penn. I don't love the Penn State ones. I know you like them.
I don't love their colors, like the maroon and not maroon, the blue and white. It's like it's fine, but just the design, like the belt is so sick.
Yeah. So like I could go out on a limb right now. I think in fact, we're doing it. I'm doing it right now. We're launching this. I don't know where we're going to start. When I post this, I'm going to be open for suggestions. I'm looking for funding. And I'm looking for some people to help me take this up, and it's got so many things going for it. We're bringing a wrestling program back into existence, and when this happens, this was the grassroots movement that started it. Kale Shonen, alumni of Oregon in the Big Ten, great colors. Literally, Nike was founded there. Their first year back, instantly we'll have the coolest singlets. It won't even be close. Like great colors, great mascot. Like they love sports there. There'll be a good vibe. I think there's some good wrestling up in that Washington area that they can pull from. I feel like the people would be like, oh, the idea of going to Oregon and literally have Nike. This is your opportunity to just like dominate wrestling and just be like, we're getting ready to fit you out. You guys are going to all have like 15 different singlets. We're going to have some like Nike special edition Nikes that you can only get. We're going to reintroduce the original Colots in Nike colors or in Oregon colors. Like, tell me that those would not be sick.
I would. Definitely.
So let's make that happen. I don't know where to start. We're open to suggestions. Bring back Oregon Ducks wrestling. We need to increase the presence on the West Coast. I think the Big Ten sort of robbed some programs, but I think maybe this is, from a football standpoint, but maybe this is an opportunity to get some programs back. Let's do it. My boy Sam, shout out to Sam if he's listening. He was in chatting with him this weekend during the tournament. I just completely lost my train of thought. We were talking about, he said, we got to get Notre Dame to get their wrestling team back.
Those would be sick.
Do you know that story, though? So look it up. I don't want to get the details wrong, but the long and short of it is there was a family, and I can't remember what I don't remember if it was like an association with somebody who wrestled for the program. I'm going to get all these dates wrong. I got to be in the ballpark. Okay. Facts have never been the strong point of this show. Okay. But Google it because I'm close. So I believe it's like a dad or a family member of a former wrestler. I can't remember if something happened to him, but basically he provided a massive endowment to fund Notre Dame wrestling for pretty much ever. And essentially the AD used a loophole to steal that endowment funding for the football program, and they lost wrestling. It's pretty shitty, so that's pretty controversial. As big a Notre Dame fan as I am, that's fucked up. But yeah, you'll have to Google that. I would love to see Notre Dame wrestling back. I think Notre Dame would have a hard time getting a program. The one thing it does have good going for it, their academic standards are very high. So from football, it hurts them. But I feel like wrestling's a cerebral sport. You see a lot of like your Cornells, your Stanford, like good programs with good wrestlers because there's a lot of smart guys wrestling at these programs. And it's not guys like, I'm a communications major and I'm going to, no, these guys like are engineers and shit, so smart guys. I feel like they have that going for it, but like you're literally would pluck a program in the middle of a hotbed of wrestling. Indiana's had some good wrestlers, Illinois, Michigan, Ohio, and you're going to be competing against a lot of programs. I think that would be pretty hard. So I don't know, but yeah, so we'll get into this some more, but I think that's just really an opportunity, guys. Like from a recruiting standpoint, your swag's got to be on point. Leverage that. Okay. I think that whole, coach relationship, I don't think that hard ass approach works these days either. I think you got to have a tough love approach to you. But, sort of along the coming off the Olympics with the whole Herb Brooks, like, I'm going to make you hate me, but the assistant coaches are going to be the guys you love. I don't know that works. I think you got to be a fatherly figure. The guy got to have some respect and know that you love and care for them. And then you can be tough and they'll respect it. You just want to come in, be a hard ass. I just don't think that works these days. So, what else? Anything else on the tournament?
I won the finals competition, so big dubs.
Yeah, I would say so there was a lot of whatever. We had our 10-team bracket pool. Nate took home the prize. I was going to dog out Mark and Dave for their Iowa antics, but they were pretty timid, to be honest with you. But I'm going to give this dude a pass on this pick because friend of the show and has given us so many good suggestions over the last several months. But our boy Kale going with Caliendo is a head scratcher, and from
Definitely.
from an academic that he is, member of multiple top 10, as well as a national runner-up, Berg all academic team. Just knowing what a scholar he is, for him to pick Caliendo makes me worried about him. We got to check on him. I don't know where he was going with that one.
Yeah, he said that was his sleeper pick. That was pretty bad. There were some other, like Vega would be a sleeper pick, I would say, like going up against Mendez, which he did pick.
I think he
him.
was
I had him
sleepy.
as well, but
I
yeah.
think he was sleepy, not a
Yeah.
sleeper. But free pass. I won't pick on him too much. It's fine. But I think it came down to who was it? You, me, Grant, and then you ended up pulling it off at the end. So good job.
So, yeah.
You took home the whopping $50. So
Let's go.
hell yeah. That's beer money. So 2 other quick things with NCAAs, and then we'll close this out. But the Ferrari brothers both injury defaulting out.
Bush League.
Whatever. Were there injuries? Was Angelo coming off an injury? I'll tell you this. AJ looked plenty healthy and bouncy and fine when he was rooting around his teammates during the finals, Matt's side. So that's kind of a Bush move, man. Like, suck it up. So that's one. The other one, I'm going to go back to Caliendo. Apparently, Messenbrick shook everybody's hand on the podium. I
just sent you the video. I hadn't seen the video until right when we started this.
Yeah.
That dude is a weenie. You lost to Messenbrick 9 times in a row. Like, at some point, you got to just recognize, like, this guy is better than me. I'm not as
there was
good
nothing
as him.
chippy, dirty, filthy, like no reason to be like that, especially at the end of your career, other than you're salty you lost. That's really a punk bitch move, dude. There's one thing I think, when the battle's over, put your differences aside. I don't know, did you ever see this video? I thought this was really insightful, and wrestlers need to young wrestlers, go find this video. Jordan Burroughs talking about during like the heyday of the him and Dake competitions, his mindset was like, I can't be showing weakness and I can't, not like anything, like you're my enemy, whatever, towards Dake. And Kyle Dake, his dad, who had been with him the entire time, died. And he never reached out to him. He didn't do anything shitty. He never reached out to Kyle, and they had known each other for years and years and years. And his whole point to his message was, my dad died. And like, my dad was there with me the entire time through all of this. And he's like, literally the first message I got was from Kyle Dake. And he was like ashamed of himself that like when that happened, he couldn't like be a bigger person and reach out to him. And he wished that he could do it over. Like, there's got to be a component to you where it's like, because I also think kind of harboring around all that, F that other guy, you spend so much time focusing on that than actually just getting better. I think it'd be different if there was like some sort of an incident or there was like some words spoke, but like that never happened. Like, you just lost and then you couldn't suck it up. And that's the kind of shit that like, I think with Iowa, it's this like, never back down, never show weakness. They're always the enemy. Like, yeah, I get it. It's over. Shake the dude's hand, knock it off.
Yeah.
So, all right, moving on. As I said, I'm out here on an island by myself. Nate didn't come home to visit me and Beans left me. So anyway, I watched War Machine Also, going back to not fact checking, I don't know this dude's name. He's the dude that plays in the Reacher series, like Rickman or Richmond or I don't know, something like that. You got it?
We'll get it up for you. Alan Richson?
Yeah. So,
Interesting
dude,
looking fella.
he's big. He's absolutely jacked. He's a big dude. Great for this part. Spoiler alert on this one. So the premise of this is dude's like in Afghanistan, runs into his brother. They're both in the army. Things happen. The whole unit, including his brother, dies. Him and his brother were going to go to Ranger school. So, you know, he's got all kinds of emotional baggage and he still applies, goes to Ranger school, which is in Colorado, and he's trying to go through Ranger school, and then it turns sci-fi. So they play on the whole, do you remember the whole asteroid that's like in our galaxy or whatever that people are like, it's showing some anomalies, like true story one, and they're like, people are like, conspiracy theory, it's a space, they kind of play on that like actually is like a
Is that
alien
related
invasion.
to
This
the
movie, yeah,
Meteor?
it might be. You might want to check. That would have been a good segue. We should have moved this around. But the long and short of it is while he's on his Ranger training with his unit, that happens and whatever, redemption story. So, like, not the worst premise in the world, and it's kind of timely. They got like a decent named guy. It wants to be a bang bang, shoot 'em up action movie. That dude is seriously a bad actor. he's 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 like, if they could have just made it a silent film, it would have been better. Like he's like worse than, Keanu Reeves made some good movies. His English accent in the Bram Stoker's Dracula is like, it's that bad. He is so bad. It's one of the worst acting performances I've ever seen. It's like, I don't know, it ruined it for me. So I was so geeked up, but like, this is the thing, like now too, it's like, don't fall pitfall to this like Netflix, so this whole streaming service competition to make movies for the streaming service, and they get like some names in it because that thing got hyped up a lot and was like most watch movie. That movie sucks ass. It's so bad. It's so bad. So don't waste your time. But I will say this:
Right.
I'm not. I'm a grown man. I will shed a tear at a good movie. Typically, they're a sports movie, but I watched anyway. I was trying to find another good something this morning, and I happened upon Lion, which, if you've never seen it, it's a true story. It's about this dude from India at 5 that basically gets lost from his brother, gets on a train. He can't even pronounce his name right. He doesn't know the name of his town. Like, he ends up thousands of miles away on like a train, and like they can't figure out. So like, India's sketchy as shit too, where he gets off. So like, dude's like ends up in like a foster home. But the long and short of it is this like an Australian family adopted him and raises him, and they did right by him. They're like, seem to be, by all accounts, awesome people, and he still considers them mom and dad. But like, things start coming back, and he like tries to go find his family. Like, he's literally like, so this is like, I think it happened all around like 2012. He starts using like Google Earth to like try to like measure like the speed of a train during that day and like how long he was on the train, sort of figured out, like literally just like exhaustive search. Like, he's got like the whole serial killer bulletin board thing. He finds it. He found his mom. He goes back and he found his mom. His brother literally died that night. I think maybe looking for him, got hit by a train, killed. So it's kind of a tearjerker, and it's a true story, and it's pretty insane story, but cool. But like, that's a movie to go invest a couple hours of your time. Not War Machine. War Machine. If Nate and I went to Dollar Tree and bought a couple of like the Halloween army outfits and went and ran around over at Red Rocks and filmed it off of your iPhone 17, it would be better. We would outact the shit out of that guy. It was so bad. It was so mad. It made me so mad. It was bad. It's like, I'm already here by myself. I'm lonely. I'm tired. Let's watch a good movie. And it just made me mad. It was so unfulfilling.
Night ruined.
Yeah. So also, one last thing. I know I keep going on, but thank God for beans. I'm not one who should be home by themselves. Have you seen Brandon Fraser in The Whale? That would be me if I was by myself. My eating habits are so bad. Like when Beans is home, I feel like we eat a lot of salads. We try to eat chicken. We do pretty good. She's good about balanced diet, not like making us eat horrible. Like we do a pretty good job. The second she's gone, I'm just like, so I got to do a couple things. Where's McDonald's on the way to the first thing I'm gonna go do? So I'm definitely hitting up. I'm going like death taxes, Rich going to Danks when he's home alone. That's it. Every time, every single time. So I hit that up and I grocery shop, right? So I'm like, I think I did okay. I'm like, I got a couple steaks for me and the dogs. I was going to hit those up on the Blackstone. I got one of those like pre-made PF Chang deals to do a night. I was going to like throw wings that we already have in the air fryer one night. Good. Now, after the Danks, I was like watching wrestling. I was like, I don't feel like cooking. Just hit up Blackjack's, got myself a pizza. I did get a salad. Hoss that bad, but I justified it by, well, Beans isn't here to pack my lunch, so
Bro.
I can just take a couple pieces of pizza on Monday and Tuesday. I know I'm fat. I'm so fat. And then I'm like, then I did good. It's like so funny because in the past, like when I'm by myself, I'll go grocery shopping. It is just like, I'm hungry and be like, oh, what do we got going on over here? It's like, all right, now we're moving on to the desserts aisle. Like this time, I'm like, no, I'm gonna be good. I try to pick like some things. Just, okay, I got salad with this. And then like, okay, you're gonna want to sweet too. So I went in, I actually looked at like the healthy section. Got like the lesser fat, like the Biscoff little bars, which are like, you would eat like 17 of those and be like, these are not big enough. It's like basically like this on a stick, if that. So like I had that, right? 3 of them, right?
You ate
Saturday
all 3
night,
of them?
Sunday night, Monday night. Beans is back Tuesday. Perfect. I got dessert. Mind you, we don't do dessert, but like it's usually like, do you want a rice cake with some peanut butter or no dessert? Right? We're pretty good about that. Now I wanted to plan out my desserts every night, but then I went to go get dessert and I was like, oh, it's like half a pint of Ben and Jerry's. I might just eat that. Then I could save the other the 3 Biscoff things. I ate that. Like, oh my God, I am fat. I know it. I can't stop eating. This is why when you're a youngster, it's good. It's fine to eat, make weight if you're in wrestling the right way, and or get strong and wrestle your weight. If you did it like we did it back in the 80s and 90s, you're going to be like, every time you go to a water fountain, if people do that anymore, you're trying to like make, agreements with yourself. I'm grown. I can drink as much water as I want. For meanwhile, the first time my head is just going like just 3 sips and then I'll like pee some of it. No. Then like food, it's basically I'm Landy when you put food around me. Like I'm not that hungry, but just like going crazy, eating everything. I can't. That's terrible. Do you feel me on any of that?
Yeah, I do. Now I don't have to make weight. I'm like, I have no discipline. I'm just like, I'll be better tomorrow. The diet starts tomorrow, but today, I'm gonna eat everything in sight.
Yeah. Why not eat today when I can lose tomorrow or the next day? That's fine. I don't know, but I'm not a good influence. Is like quick story when we moved to Colorado, Nate and I went out as frontiersmen on our own ahead of time. Dude, we were keeping a Taco
Pretty
Bell in
heavy.
business.
Hell yeah.
In fact, do you remember off Santa Fe, like we're going down towards the Springs or the outlets or Rampart Range, there was that like Taco Bell KFC on the corner? That's gone now. And I think it's because when you went away to school, you and I were their only customer because it's not easy to get to. But when you and I were here, anytime we were like, oh, well, we may as well grab a couple tacos while we're going past this. It's like, that's a long stretch of road. We could be on this for 20 minutes.
You never know.
If we got a flat tire and we don't have food,
stranded.
Yeah, that could have been bad. So we're going to hit that up. And then ashamed to admit, we taste tested we did a Burger King McDonald's taste test one time that you think like, oh, so you just got a burger from each? Oh no, we just got an entire meal from
You got
both.
like two meals.
Yeah.
This
Then if you're doing, yeah, because if you eat one cheeseburger from McDonald's and then you go to the BK cheeseburger, and then you're like, but it's been, and they got to go back for a second opinion, and then you're like, okay, well, if we're gonna do the burger, you got to do the fries. So here's the moral of this story: you and I should never live.
Yep, we'll be 1,000 pounds.
Yeah, we'll be at that. We'll be on we'll have our own reality show.
We'll be on TLC.
Yeah, to be like, oh, on this week of Fat and Stranded with Rich and Nate. It's just like you and I living in a Quonset hut that has just like a double 2-car garage door, just like on a sectional. It just is literally like knock on the door. Did you Uber Eats again? So it did. It's Uber Eats, but we don't have anybody here that can go to the door because our caretaker doesn't show up for another 30 minutes. This could be bad.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. All right. Well, last thing, banger of the week. I got a quick one for you. Snag the tickets. They hadn't toured in years. They came to Red Rocks last year. I was very upset I didn't buy tickets. They hit a pre-sale this week. Also, AXS pre-sale is such poop. I got kicked out like 10 times before I finally got in. But snagged some Empire of the Sun tickets for $68. I'm super jazzed about that. So you folks not familiar, I'm sure you know maybe like We Are the People or Walking on a Dream. But I'm going to throw my banger of the week, and that is DNA. Give that bad boy a spin. It's a good song. Cool, chill vibe. You will enjoy it. You have it. Excuse me. You got anything, Nate?
Well, first and foremost, I'm pretty upset I didn't get invited to go to the concert.
You were invited. You said you couldn't do it Tuesday.
So I'm not too sure exactly what that's about. I didn't want to go anyways. It's fine.
I can still get you a ticket if
no,
you want to
it's
go.
fine. It's fine. I'll just be here by myself.
Well, I have to buy concert tickets to have people come, not abandon me. Otherwise, I'm just sitting here with Landy snoring on the couch. So what's
today? I've been bumping Playa by A$AP Rocky lately.
Okay.
From his newish album. I don't know, probably like a month old or so. But it's fine. I haven't really dove into some new tunes. I need to, but
yeah. Okay. Before I end this, because it was NCAA week, right now you have 5 seconds to put a song out there. What's your walkout song?
I don't know. What's your
first song in your head? Go.
What's the Hall & Oates song I had for senior night at Bear Creek from Step Brothers? I forget what it's called.
Okay.
But that one.
All right, my walkout song right now, I'm just going like make no sense. I'm going Tears of a Crown, Smokey Robinson, which also should be a banger of a week because it's one of the best songs ever made, recorded, or written. It's an amazing tune. So I'm going to say Tears of a Crown, Smokey Robinson. What that has to do with wrestling or hype?
I don't know.
It's a vibe. So anyway, that's all I got for this week. You got anything else, Nate?
Just
Peace out.
Grind some homework.
You're almost there, boy. You're almost there. Well, all right. Well, everybody have a good week. We'll be back at you in a week. Stay classy, Cleveland. Peace out.
Come back, beat kicks in crowd noise, whistle blows.